Women should vote, but hold on, let me add this. I do think you guys got the vote a little unfairly. Yeah, you guys, it was a little unfair how you got the vote, because men, the way we got the vote is we were subject to military conscription. Women were able to secure a right, privilege to vote without any corresponding
it really is a privilege,
civil duty or responsibility to your country.
Yeah.
So I'm in favor of women voting. You kind of sneaked it in a little bit, whatever. I think we should draft women. Thoughts?
I think no one should be drafted.
But
it should be your own personal choice. Women and men can be in the army, but it.
Yeah, I agree. Just no one drafted. If Russia decides they want our country, just fuck it. Let them have it, or any country at that point could just come in and take it if they have more numbers than us, I guess.
It should be your choice.
Well, okay, so hold on. So women can volunteer for the military. Women can participate in the military, although there's. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. There's differences there. For example, really quick, the physical requirements to join the military are like really low, are way different for men and women, which is an inequality. And being a soldier.
That is actually 100% true. We have a new new test called the ACFT, which has been through a lot of phases. It was to replace the old physical test. And one of their goals this time around was to equalize men and women's requirements and make it so that men and women both had to. Let me see something.
Soldier requires.
Make it so that men and women both did the exact same thing. Then they introduced something called the leg tuck. And the thing about the leg tuck is I've never had any issues with it, but I know some guys even did, but a lot of women did too. You basically just raise your legs up. You could just look at what a leg tuck is. The requirement was 1. The Army had to get rid of that. They tried to equalize all of the requirements. It did not work. So now we are back to having different requirements for men and women. The women's is pretty significantly lower to max out their tests, which is, as equal as we want to pretend every organization is. There's just biological differences. If you want people in the military, you would have to sacrifice so many women out of your ranks if you put them at an equal physical requirement as men. It's just the reality of the situation.
Certain degree of physical labor, being physically strong, whatever. There's a certain standard there. The same with police officers and firefighters. Yet it's interesting to me that despite these jobs requiring some degree of physicality, there is a call. For example, equal pay. It used to be equal pay for equal work. Now it's just equal pay?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, for example, if it takes 3 female police officers to subdue 1 male criminal versus it might take 1 or 2 male police officers to do the same job, is it the same job? Is there a great... Well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm totally fucking derailing. Sorry, the caffeine's fucking kicking.
It's the same job they're doing. It's just somebody's better than it than the other person. I think when it comes to physical fitness, man, I don't know how much leeway you can leave. What he said is true. A lot of female officers do have issues subduing like fully grown men to an extreme extent. And a job like being a police officer, you really don't want the cop to have to resort to using other tools if they can avoid it. This leads to people just getting shot when they don't have to, or like just complications from all of their other ways of stopping people. So yeah, they're doing the same job though, and they're probably working harder than the guy is to stop the person. They just need more help. But it is not the same outcome or effectiveness, which
hold on. Wait.
I don't think that goes into pay. That goes into hiring, right? Like if the police department decides, hey, we need this to be more effective, you gotta look at who you're hiring, and if it means more men, it is what it is.
Oh, right. You're the military conscription. You think we should do away with the draft?
Yeah, no one should be drafted.
But isn't that...
Bruh, I don't understand how people... Because she's probably grown now. She's on this podcast, right? Like, This is a grown ass woman saying we should do away with military conscription. It's like, how do you make it this far without understand? How do you not know what like it is? Let me fix this camera. Like, I'm genuinely curious. How do you not understand why we have a military conscription? And the fact that if we could get rid of it, do you not think every guy would have lobbied for that by now? Like, nobody wants to send their sons to die. Nobody wants themselves to be sent to die when they don't want to. But in the situation in which our country is being attacked, like, we can't just give up and give the country away. So that's where the draft comes in. Like, it's such a basic like concept. Like, I don't think there was ever a time where I didn't understand this. It's so
just
strange.
Like saying, well, war is bad. There just shouldn't be war.
War is bad, guys.
Well, I'm not going to say war is good, but I do believe it should be people's right to choose what they do. And there's plenty of people who are willing to do it.
Well, there's volunteer. As you know, this guy is volunteering to join the Air Force.
The Air Force, bro. Smart choice.
The
Smart
underscore
choice.
old underscore ball underscore in Minnesota donated $100.
Okay, here we go.
The push up here right now is telling PPM men should cut and snip till we pass polygraphs. Proved achieving financial and emotion security. Clowns on the left and jokers to our ears us in middle stuck with you.
Like, you need to send that shit to the Pentagon to decipher what the fuck he just said. I have no idea what that. Okay. Like, what? What was that?
War is bad.
Explain.
Get it. I totally get it. But practically speaking, is it conceivable that there could be some scenario where a draft would be required?
Yes. Like what?
I think there could be a scenario where that happens.
Yeah, like World War II or like
let's just be totally blunt.
What?
Practical here. The draft is never going away.
Like, this isn't something that can't ever happen. I'm so confused. 9/11? Hello?
It's never going to be politically possible to get rid of the draft. Do you then think, as a matter of equality, that women should be subject to military conscription?
I just don't believe that should ever be forced. If no one's volunteering, then other means should be found.
Okay, what are the other means to meeting a certain amount of, because we're under numbers now, which I don't think they understand. So we're under, it's one thing if we have like a full complete military, we're strong in terms of numbers, and you're like, well, I don't think anybody should have to be drafted. That's fair, that's true. I think that in that case you shouldn't draft anyone, but that's just not reality. Like, what do you do? So we go to war right now, right? If people are trying to attack the mainland, what do? We just give up? Like, I don't understand what the alternative is. Like, what are the alternative? Guys, please, please join the military and don't run away, please. Like, if they wanted to fight, they would have joined by now.
But
like, what?
Just try to engage with the question here. So, assuming that getting rid of the draft is politically impossible, it just will never happen. Engage with me there. Do you think then, for the sake of equality, that women should be subject to military conscription just as men are?
Would that still need to happen if the world leaders themselves just fought each other?
Just engage with the question. We get it. Draft bad, war bad.
I mean, I guess in that very specific scenario,
What do you mean
it
that?
would have to be both.
You mean the scenario that is currently in? That's
what about Ukraine? Like, what the
But
fuck?
that's not.
Like, imagine if they just didn't have a draft. Like, just no one left to fight. All the women left for the most part. Like, what are you talking about? I'm so confused. Like, what if the world leaders just fight? Yeah, you tell them that, or the world leader on the other side is gonna be like, nah, I think I should just blow y'all up if you're not gonna fight back. Like, what? Why would you not do that in that situation? That's so stupid, bro. And everything isn't about just world leaders wanting to fight. What if something is against our, like, personal interests? What about, like, World War II, right? What if their goal is to, like, conquer the earth and, like, kill all people that don't look like them? Like, would you say that's just world leaders should just fight it out? Or should you say, like, hey, I don't think my world leader in a 1v2 million situation is going to win? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
Okay, so in our current
people don't even
scenario,
understand
plenty of
how
people are
government
willing
works,
to
man.
Volunteer.
No,
Just basic
in our current scenario,
realities.
the draft is in place. And all men, when they turn...
So they're talking about, like, the right to vote and stuff. People like her have the right to vote, and it's not because she's a woman. It's just there's guys exactly like her too. I guarantee it. I've seen stupid, and this is why the electoral college exists, and this is why the founding fathers thought, maybe everyone isn't smart enough, educated enough to vote, and this is in a world with 10 times the ability to become educated. Like, probably way more than that. 100 times the ability to become educated. We have people like this, bro. This is why voting doesn't matter, bro.
Turn 18 and
We
register
need
to
better
vote.
systems.
They have to register for the draft. I did it. Every man I know has
IQ
done
tests.
it. Women.
IQ tests before
no
voting.
one do
They don't have
It's
to.
good for
So,
5 years. Every
in
5
our
years,
current
you have to take a new
situation,
one.
would it be, since the right to vote came with military conscription, all of these other things, the right to vote was given to men as a privilege for all of those things that they would do for their country. Like, they get a say in the political comings and goings of America. Do you think, since we want to pursue equality, women should also, for that privilege, be required to meet those same standards?
So the reason I understand what he's saying, and so like pragmatically, yeah, 100% should be. The reason this hasn't been like put in place is because one, feminists aren't gonna push for this. Women aren't gonna push for this because they're like, well, I don't want to fight. So that's not gonna happen from their end. And then on the men's end, a lot of the people who voted in have daughters, have wives that they wouldn't want. They wouldn't want to imagine their daughter having to go fight a war. But dads are notoriously more lenient with their daughters, right? So I don't see any man with a daughter really pushing for this. If men didn't have to push it for their sons, they probably wouldn't. But it is what it is. That's already the law. We kind of do need people to fight. But that's really the main reasons. Like, everyone with a girlfriend or daughter wouldn't want this to happen. That's a dude. And none of the women are going to want to fight. So here you have it, where it's just men getting conscripted. In terms of the right to vote aligning with that, I actually don't really know too much of the history, if that's like 100% true. But if it is, I mean, like, they came at the perfect time to request their right to vote, I guess. They just, they got us. They played us, guys.
Voting, you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I say they get their asses in war right now. But if I have a daughter in the future or something, you know, or like a niece or something, that opinion's going to change, probably. I'll be like, damn, I don't want them to go. I'd rather fight. So
But I think the question was more so directed to you.
If it's in exchange for being able to vote, meaning from both sides, if you weren't signed up for the draft, you couldn't vote, then sure.
Okay, so you're in favor of women being subject to military conscription.
In those simple terms, no. But in the scenario where you need to in order to vote.
What?
Well, but so the current
Bro, like,
the current way
it
that-
just makes me so mad because she can vote. Like, like, she's just like, what the fuck is going on? I've never been more confused than watching this video right now. Like, the dude with that random TTS that, like, made no fucking sense in English. Like, I don't know what language that was. It was in English words, but made no fucking sense. And then we got her who's just, like, lost. Like, I think everybody else at that table understands what he's saying, and like she's just like in the clouds, like just not like, I don't know, it's swishing over her head. I don't get it, bro.
Is that there is a selective service for men to be able to vote. They have to register for the selective service. They're subject to potential military conscription should the need arise. Women are exempt from this. This occurs to me to be an inequality between men and women. And if I recall, I believe you stated you were a feminist, correct? Which, if
feminist
I
does not mean equality.
My definition of feminism,
I'll tell you that.
And this is actually not how I define feminism. But if I just am charitable here and say that feminism is fighting for equality between men and women, then shouldn't you, as a feminist, be in favor of equalizing this?
Yes, and though we can't, like, if we were to go through my preferred route, my version of equalizing it is no one has to be drafted. If that's not an option, sure, everyone.
It's not
How is
possible,
that
though,
an
to get
option?
rid of
Like,
the draft.
how can
But
you
why
not
is that-
understand that if your country is in danger, your two options are fight or give up? Like, I genuinely want her to say with a straight face, once Hitler finally made it here, if we didn't fight, right? Once he finally made it here, do you think we should have gave up and then let everybody who looks like me or everyone who looks like Ben Shapiro get murdered? Or should we B, fight so that we can survive? Like, I don't understand. And then you wouldn't even have the rights that you have now. So, like, I don't get this concept. Like, this, no one should fight. No fucking shit, bro. People crazy. Everyone doesn't get to grow up in the fucking luxury life that we have here in the U.S. Like, everybody doesn't get that. There's some crazy ass people out there that need to be stopped and put down because there's no reasoning. Obviously, in a perfect world, we want all of our world leaders to come together and find solutions without fighting. But Ukraine is a perfect example of that shit not happening. Palestine and fucking Israel, perfect example of that not happening. So what do we do in situations like this? We just give up? Like, what? The worst people are going to be the first to fight. Okay, so like, you got to fight back.
There's just certain national security reasons why that it would never be possible. And I would argue, even if we did get rid of the draft, in a scenario where a draft was necessary, I would suspect that Congress would just pass a law, or there would be martial law, which would just force men into the military anyways. So even if we politically got rid of it, some future Congress would just reverse it.
Exactly. The second a conflict popped up, you'd be like, well, we need to fight.
Under martial law, they can suspend some of your rights, and they just force men into the military anyways. Or women too. But mostly the men.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's not a scenario like, and somebody could probably speak better on this, but there's just certain like realities when it comes to warfare. Who knows? There could be a fucking alien conflict. Bro, we're getting fucking drafted.
I'll speak for you, Brian. The reality is that there will be a time, again, as there have been in the past, where someone wants to take our goddamn land, where somebody wants to take our freedom, where someone thinks capitalism is the spawn of the damn devil, and they want us eliminated so that they can impose their bullshit, altruistic goals and fucking beliefs and bull crap that they want you to just take it, shut up, and live by. And guess what? That's when we will need people to fight. Our numbers are down in the military. They have been. This is public information. Like, if you just looked at the news for like 10 seconds in the past like 5-10 years, you would have seen. But we're at like an all-time low. If a giraffe is necessary, it's gonna happen. I already know my ass gonna be called back. I get out this year. The harsh reality is when you sign up, you're actually signing for 8 years, even if you so I signed a 4-year contract. To explain this for people not in the military, I signed a 4-year contract, but with that you have automatically signed up for 8 years of service duty. So what that means is I get out this year, I've done my 4 years, and when I'm a civilian, I have to keep registering for 4 more years, like once a year, I believe. And at any time in those 4 years, if anything pops off, or if the Army's just like, we need more people, they can just force me to come back. And then I have to do mandatory, I think 2 years or whatever, which means I could be in my last like 5 months of my mandatory service callback, and then boom, I get called back. They ruin my life, and and then I'm back here for 2 years, and it's wherever they need you. I think a lot of the times it's like drill sergeants and different instructors and stuff like that to train all of the brand new people that they're getting in during like a draft or something. And obviously they're going to take people who have already been in to teach a lot of the new people, and that's the reality. Like, and I think women have a hard time understanding this, because like it's never even a question for them. It's a whole issue they never think about, which is funny because we always talk about like abortion and autonomy over the body and stuff like that politically, where men have like, it's not even about whether or not you can like have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's like, well, you get sent to this battlefield where you get permanent injury, permanent mental health issues, permanent death, or anything else. Like, no matter what, if you get called back during the wartime, it's going to be, you're suffering the rest of your life from something. There's nobody safe, especially if it's a big war. Like, if you're called back, shit is popping off. And that's a reality women will never even be able to understand. So I think that's why a lot of men are like unsympathetic when they talk about autonomy and stuff. It's like, yeah, you want to talk about autonomy and rights, try being a man for like any important part of history, and we just get fucked, bro. I am praying things will pop off in the next like
the zombies my lifetime. Come, bro. I'm out there. You're gonna be out there in the streets doing some Walking Dead shit. Fucking katana. Sorry, I spit there a little bit.
Katana's actually a horrible weapon.
You know? Show me your katana slice.
A zombie apocalypse. No, there's videos about it. Trust me.
I'll say that there's no country that's peaceful enough to not have a draft.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, when it comes to that, I'd argue we're fucking.
Actually, the most peaceful countries still need a draft because, like, just because you're peaceful, you need the world to be so peaceful that you never have to go to war. And that is such an unrealistic, like, just stupid way to run things. And, like, this is why everyone isn't built to be leaders, bro. Because, like, you have to take reality for what it is. And, like, some choices are harsh, but at a certain point, you're going to be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I want my people to live. I will, I don't know, curse the rest of the planet, but we'll be okay. Like, you have to make really dark decisions sometimes and, like, really hard decisions. And this is, like, so, like, easy for anyone who has, like, a leadership mindset to even, like, the most basic extent. My country may be attacked. Should I A, give up, or B, make people fight for the rights in their own property that they live by? Like, what?
Closer to some, like, global military conflict than I think at any point in the past 30 years. Yeah. Ukraine, what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on in the Middle East, there's economic, there's like various civil uprisings in various countries. There's fucking inflation, like shit is a little chaotic.
Please don't call me that. Please, bro. Please, I'm almost free, guys. Please don't do it.
It's a little chaotic right now. I'll give you one example with Ukraine, for example. I don't believe that feminism can actually exist when there's a military conflict. So in Ukraine, all the men had to stay in the country. I believe it was from the ages of 18 to 60. If you're a man, you could not leave the country. The women,
yeah, there's some old people fighting in Ukraine.
And I've pulled up.
I've seen like straight up videos of the battlefields.
It's this really interesting comparison when it comes to, like, I often hear these terms, male privilege, blah blah blah. So you have screenshots of women, Ukrainian women, who are on dating apps because they were able to flee and go to Stockholm and the UK and Paris, wherever they went. And they were just partying it up, living their life on dating apps, getting f***ed. And then the Ukrainian men who had no choice for that. Bro, there's video. The comparison photo is them, like,
the videos are crazy.
Dead bodies.
Crazy.
It's like such a contrast. So there's also no male privilege. Does anyone want to bite on that?
Yeah. There is no male privilege.
No male privilege.
With the privilege comes a price.
In totality.
Which would be that.
Stop.
Privilege comes at a price. What price are you paying as a woman for all of the privileges you have? Like, this whole idea of privilege is so fucking dumb. And it was pushed by really stupid, radical people. Because if you think about it, okay, well, this person who's born rich has more privileges than me. Yeah, sure, okay. What about the freaking starving kid in Africa? Do you think you have more privilege than them? What should you do about your privilege? Even if you're poor in the U.S., it's better than being poor fucking in 90% of the places on planet Earth. Chances are you're not going to be murdered quite as fast or die of starvation quite as fast as many of those other places, or die of, like, some horrible illness. At least hospitals there have technology and they have to treat you no matter your financial situation. Like, there's so many privileges everyone has compared to just, like, there's always someone with less privileges than you, but, like, that's how you structure your life. The great thing about the U.S. is that if you don't have as many privileges, you know, like maybe taking a million vacations a year, maybe you raise your financial status, and then guess what? You gain more privileges. How about you go get some trade skills? How about you get skills in general that make you more money than whatever it is you're doing now? You're never too fucking old. You're really never too old for anything that you really want to pursue. It's like with the breakdancing dad that was all over YouTube. Like, if he's fucking, 60 something or like late 50s breakdancing, y'all ass can shut the hell up, take an online class, pay like $300 for an online class, get a freaking certification or something, and go make more money. Like, it's just not that fucking hard. You guys are just like uneducated and lazy. And like the education part, you have YouTube. There's really no excuse. Most people have internet or have internet at some point in the day.
Let's Go Brandon donated $100. In honor of Trans Day, what is stopping a man to identify as a woman to dodge the draft? Please ask the use any pronoun you want.
Wait,
woman.
Actually, hold on. There is something on this. So first off, I want to do a cheers to Easter.
Yeah,
He is risen.
I'm not even
Nick,
gonna comment
if you can
on this,
actually
I
pull
don't-
up the social. Oh my
That
God,
is
I'm
interesting,
blanking. Sorry,
though.
the selective
That's all I'm saying. But I'm pretty
service
sure,
system.
if I'm correct, I'm actually pretty sure that it goes based off of your born and biological gender. Yeah, so there's no dodging that. It's funny, out of all the things the government's like, nah, we're gonna make sure you want to go to female prisons. That's a little whatever. But for the draft, you ain't dodging this, my boy. Not dodging this, my boy.
Website, just it's like SS. Just you can Google it. Actually, it's by sex, so you can't get out of it by transitioning. So Nick, can you scroll up a little bit, or make it bigger? My bad.
I'll be honest. I joined first time. Yeah, I first joined at 17. Had to come back home due to an injury, and I joined again. I don't think I've ever even signed up for the selective service because I just entered like right after. I should probably look into like the rules on this, but I guess we're about to go over it. But I'm actually curious. Do I have to sign up still? But I've never signed up for the selective service. I just joined the service.
Really curious on
Imagine
this.
I can just get raided by the goddamn feds after this.
Registration, and just don't click it. Just see the drop down. Other one. Oh, click it, I guess. Scroll down. Who needs to register? Benefits. Also, we could do benefits and penalties. Yeah. Yeah. There. I remember disabled. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Transgender people. Okay, this fun. Just click on that one. Yeah, they have a.
Got him.
Wait.
Got him.
Click it.
Big brain move.
Oh, scroll down. It's probably it's like a jump. Yeah, it's a weird jump thing.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
Go all the way to the bottom.
Scroll down.
They already know.
There's-
Everybody would just
Make it-
identify as female to get out of it. Like
Who are assigned male at birth and change their gender to female are still required to register. Individuals who are assigned female at birth and change their gender to male are not required to register.
that is crazy, bruh.
Even if you,
That
there's
is
not a loophole there.
crazy.
You can't do it. So it's maybe working for prisons, but
So
not-
when push comes to shove, biology, everyone recognizes it. It doesn't matter what people in the government say. They recognize biology. It doesn't matter.
I
True.
think it's just like they're trying to get rid of a loophole. Like I think that is like the major thing.
wait, they're trying to get
Rid of a loophole because it's like who like if you don't want to be drafted, what's stopping you from identifying as a woman? Besides how others perceive you. But if you really don't want to be drafted, like I feel like a lot of men would do that, so they're trying to prevent that because they can see that.
Hell yeah, bruh.
I don't know if it really needs it.
I said I would have done that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, if the option is go to D-Day or just say it, mark on a piece of paper that you're female, like, I mean, one's worse than the other. I mean, the government knows, bro. It's just so weird they don't do this for prisons. Really strange.
That they agree,
Really, really strange.
you know, with any viewpoint necessarily, but I think that's what it is.
It is interesting though that is the federal government's position on
They
that.
would
but-
still force a female who got the transition to go to, or not a female, sorry, a male who transitioned to a female. They would force no, a male who transitioned to female. They would force him to go to war regardless of his feelings.
That's just funny.
Clearly
Because
they
the
would.
government doesn't care.
Wait, is the
When push
government transphobic?
When push comes to shove,
I thought that was a
apparently,
woman.
the
I think this
government
is
does
like-
not care.
For me, this is kind of relates to the whole sports topic too.
Joe Biden?
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, Joe...
It relates to the sports.
That's
It's
my
just
boss.
like
Come on, guys.
there could be a
Well,
loophole there. And
Politicians will say whatever they want. They
know,
have to
I
say
agree.
to appease the public.
Not true.
So they
Not
can
true,
get
guys.
reelected.
The
So they
fuck?
can make people say, "Oh, they are so holy. Like they are so good."
Yeah, but that's the video. Go check it out. It's on whatever clips. Yeah, it's just funny. People don't have any like grasp of reality. Not understanding the military in totality makes 100% sense. I didn't know shit before joining. Like none of my family did. None of my friends did or do. Like it's not something you really understand. But when it comes to like why we need a draft, I never thought like this would need an explanation. Like you should like inherently know this past like a second grade level. Like you just understand, oh, draft, what is that? Oh, we make people join in case there's a conflict. Oh, okay. You know, like because you have two options, fight or die, and I refuse to just die. Like it's crazy. But tell me what you guys think. Stay safe. We don't have a loophole out of the draft, my boys. I'm sorry. Maybe something else will pop up. Just cut your legs off or something. All right, later.